Alrighty, it is the 29th of July. As we've had some storms this week and some very hot weather, I'm going to take a quick tool around the garden and see how things are going and check out all of the awesome swallowtail butterflies. Hi, buddy. Oh, they're just active. Anyway, things are going well. Echinaceas I started from seed 2 years ago are finally turning into decently sized plants. The little pollinator bed is doing well. The Joe Pye weed is coming out. I don't love it, but the butterflies and bees and stuff do, and it's come on now that lavender's died back, so that's good. And again, things I started from seed are coming up. Really need to cut back the lavender. Really need to harvest some tomatoes today and tomorrow. It's kind of bad. We've had storms every afternoon this week, so that has kind of put a damper on doing that. Obviously, the buddleias, the butterfly bushes are doing well. The volunteer butterfly bushes are doing well. Everything is coming up. Zinnias I did from seed this year. They're okay. Probably would have liked them if they were a different color, although orange and purple obviously go well together. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do more. Finally have, hello, Mr. Roo. Finally have some activity happening on the Heliopsis. They're a late summer bloomer anyway, so they're just starting to push that up. I still haven't cut back the butterfly bush, so poor little Suncredible is kind of, buried with it. But it has been blooming prolifically. The rains have not helped it hold on to its petals. Everything else is doing well. Been really bad about coming out here and getting strawberries because the afternoons have been so bad. But it's a lovely morning in the garden. Lots of butterflies, lots of dragonflies, got some hummingbirds that hang out here, a whole variety. Some have a bunch of monarchs, so it's all good. And so it's doing its job. Anyway, still working on, obviously, the pondless waterfall. Still have to rock it. I'll go on the back side. As you can see, we've got bee activity on the scarlet runner beans, which is the only reason that I actually grow scarlet runner beans, is for the hummingbirds and the pollinators. Lost this end of the bush beans, but never fear, I have more. I'm going to be posting on our Buy Nothing marketplace and asking people to come harvest if they want to, because my God, the number of cherry tomatoes and other tomatoes are kind of shocking. I've got bell peppers coming. They're looking pretty. Lots of that. I did cut this back last weekend so that I could actually see things. The beans in there, they're getting pounded by the afternoon sun, but the runners are going up over the top. They're doing well. Oh, I did put out some Japanese beetle bags, and I know they're like, oh, but they attract them. There were so many. I had to get them off of the grapes and off of the beans and some other stuff. So they've done their job. The two-prong approach is working. Ton of Amish tomatoes in here. Some are probably going to get past their prime if we don't get them this weekend. But last weekend was all about hacking back so I could even see what was here. Again, tomatoes, lots of tomatoes. These are the giant crimsons. I've got 2 indeterminates here of giant crimson. This is what they call Big Dwarf. So it is a dwarf variety that does not, it's not an indeterminate, it's a determinate. And so it's got some decent sized slicers coming on. We'll have to see how that goes. Ooh, I've got one in there almost ready to pick, so I can at least give it a taste test. And like I said, I've got 2 indeterminate towers of the giant crimson that I got from M.I. Gardner, and then my old faithful mortgage lifters. They are just stunning for me. Some people talk about them being like a pound each. I don't get them that big, but they are prolific and they are delicious. So I'm all good with them. I don't really see, my problem is with the giant crimsons, I get so many cat-faced ones that I'm like, you cut so much out because of the kind of internal scar tissue. Nope. Sticking with Morgan lifters. I have lots of swallowtail caterpillars that are doing what they're supposed to do. They are eating up my parsley and my celery, although really not much because I really have to come out here and harvest some celery. But by the way, wow, you can't even see it anymore. I have some beautiful stalks in there this year. It is true, you need to grow them individually, not as a clump. So I have learned my lesson. Carrots are coming on. I've been harvesting onions as I've been doing spatchcock chicken to put them in the big pot, the roasting pot with those. I really haven't come out to get my perpetual spinach, but it's not really been a loss. The amaranth looks awesome from a distance. You can see it, I'll do a farther shot. But as you can see up close, one of the reasons I grow it is also a trap crop. So flea beetles, Japanese beetles, all these little things that like to Swiss cheese the leaves, they just go right over to amaranth, like they go to my my grapevines, and they were going to my kiwi vines, but you know, the trap crops help a lot. Need to harvest cucumbers. I did cut this back too. As you can see, got a ton of beautiful Amish paste there as well. Good Lord, the Amish paste has climbed. As I said, I did kind of a parallel planting, so I've got even more of the gold nugget cherry tomatoes, which are awesome and beautiful and perfect for cooking with when you toss them into something. I had a major battle against harlequin beetles last weekend. And I think, oh, I see one, but I've kind of won. I took out dozens by hand, and I'll come back and get the one I see in there. But the kale is bouncing back nicely. I took out a few leaves that were looking a little sad, and so that's all good. A quick moment to look at just the loveliness of the grapes hanging over the arbor right here. And then as I come into kind of the secret jungle, good Lord, there's so much going on. My oopses are all sitting here kind of, I'm experimenting. What would happen if I took a green tomato and I just hung it? I see some of the British gardeners doing stuff like that to force, you know, a later ripening when they need to tear things out in their garden. I don't know, it's an experiment. I'm probably not going to use them because God knows I have enough, but there you go. Wow, it's really bright, so hard to see. I picked pounds of cherry tomatoes last weekend, and I have got pounds more to pick this weekend there. That is one plant. One. So, beans are growing over. My husband is not coming out and picking beans like he said he would. He likes to eat them raw, and I'm like, hey, you've got a buffet every day, man. Come on out. Backside of the Amish paste and the indeterminates I have on that side. I also have Romas. They haven't turned yet. Got another, I believe this is another Big Dwarf. They're okay. I'm sticking with mortgage lifters. It was an experiment. It was a good experiment. I've already been harvesting from these. This is the giant crimson here. They're okay. They've got some pretty ones, but they're not that giant. And then I have my mortgage lifters, the winners. They are just so awesome for me. I can't even tell you. I've got a whole tray of them inside. We eat on them every day, and I've taken them into work. The one day I go in the afternoon and given them to my co-workers. Again, I use eggplant as a trap crop. These are cute little Turkish ones. I don't know, they're cute. I don't really cook with them. But they're, I mean, they're good to grow. I've got, this is a Japanese, an Asian one that's long and purple, as you can see. This is the backside to my cucumbers. I did hack it back, but my God, there are so many more over there. And I think this one is another Amish paste. They are just, they kind of are bullies. They're semi-determinate, and in my book, they're almost indeterminate because look at the height I've got going on that one, and I have hacked that one back severely. So it definitely has legs. Same with this one, it's coming over the top. And like I said, it's kind of a jungle. It's better than it was. I still have volunteer tomatoes that keep popping up. And then here's the back side of, or the south side of the kale. All safely protected from cabbage loopers, just a manual protection from the harlequin bugs. And to give you an idea, if I can get in here and get a look at them, evil little things, there they are. When they're small, it's hard to tell exactly what they are. I have learned the difference between their younger stage and a couple of the other beneficials, but they are definitely not a beneficial. Get them out as soon as possible. But because we like to come out, oh, I see another one over there. Because we like to come out and just pick kale and toss it in a smoothie or throw it in a salad or something, we would like to not have to put anything on here to battle them. So it looks like in a few minutes I'll be back out here and doing another manual pick. And to give you an idea, this is their graveyard. I toss them on the ground, I just crush them. So it's quick, it's easy. Oh, and by the way, that is the long Asian eggplants that I grow. So it's a good garden year. Not too many things I'm battling. I haven't really battled Japanese beetles like this in the past, but it's been disheartening this year. I was really concerned we would start to see the Chinese spotted lanternfly, but that hasn't happened yet, so I'm kind of relieved of that. But all this damage up there to the leaves, that's all due to that. Japanese beetles, and one over there, Japanese beetles. One challenge in Virginia, I can't just buy the lures. I bought like replacement bags. So I'm going to change out bags today, but I have to order whole new kits here in order to get what I need. So anyway, that has been it, and there's a view of my office window. It's awesome. I get to look outside and enjoy my garden when I need a mental respite. Still need to set up the pondless waterfall the new waterfall at the top of this, but very pleased with the updated sound. And then, we're kind of thankful, even though we've had a couple of really hard storms that have come through, which include like marble-sized hail. The rain has been really welcomed this summer because we've been in and out of droughts for a few years, and everything has kind of suffered, and everything is so green this year. I mean, it ups the number of mowings and other things that have to be done, but it's definitely been beneficial to all of the, the orchard and the new trees we put in and things like that. Everything else is on drip except for a couple of the little pots that I have to manually water at night, which isn't hard because I've got a couple of hose links in the garden that just make it really easy. So, and there's another swallowtail, if you saw it go over, and cricket, who would love nothing better than to go into the lavender and get to the bunnies that hide in there. So, but I won't let her, so she will just sniff and pass on. Anyway, that's it for the end of July.